Hi there, my name is Jordan Tashner and I'm excited to bring you another video in our Lessonspace video tutorial series. In this video, we take a deep dive into how, as a teacher, you can join the Lessonspace, properly navigate your dashboard, and become an integral part of your Lessonspace organization. Let's assume our admin has created a Lessonspace organization and wants to start inviting teachers to join and start teaching some students. We just need to wait for our invite email. Once set, let's check our email inbox for an invite. Make sure the admin has inputted your email correctly. In our email, all we need to do is click the embedded button, Get Started. Once clicked, we'll be prompted to enter a new password for our own account. Make sure it's a good one, containing letters, numbers, capitalization, and optimally a symbol. Once we have set our password, we'll be logged into our organization with the ability to start creating our own spaces and exploring our dashboard. The teacher dashboard has 4 main areas to explore. First, on the Spaces tab on the navigation pane, we can start creating our own spaces for students to join and lessons to begin. On this teacher profile, I have multiple spaces created already. For each space, we can click the options icon to view sessions, copy the space link to share with students or other users in our organization. We can edit and lock the space and duplicate the space if we'd like. If we lock the space, we can choose a time period for which students in our organization cannot enter the space. Useful, for example, if we would like to redesign a space before a student has a new lesson. We can search for spaces here and even filter spaces based on usage by students or assigned teachers within time periods and by tags for even finer filtering. To edit tags for better filtering, click the edit button mentioned before, and we can add useful tags for organizing our spaces. There is also a drop-down in the top right of our list of spaces that allows us to display spaces that have been created by me or assigned to me, as well as spaces I have access to or have joined before. We can then view sessions from our created spaces, assuming you have recording policy set on the Sessions tab. The Sessions tab gives us a list of sessions completed in each space with information on who joined for however long. If we click More Actions, we can go to the space the session refers to, rename the session, change our recording access, which is useful if we don't want other students to view recordings as an example, and download the session data as a CSV. The Student tab allows us to view and edit existing students in our organization. Note that only admins can add more teachers and students to the organization, but as a teacher, we can edit student data such as names, emails, and passwords. We can search for students by typing here, and we can filter students by space access. Finally, in the library section of the dashboard, we can upload files to our personal account or organization to use in our spaces. In this example, I want to upload a maths resource to my personal account for my own lessons. We click on Personal, then New File Upload. We upload our resource, which is a PDF in this case, and rename it to whatever we like. This PDF is now accessible in the Library tab in our space itself. Let's go back to our list of spaces and create a new space. Clicking New Space will open up a side panel where we can name our space and see if sessions can be recorded. We can also lock the availability of watching the recording to certain user types. These default settings and policies can be changed in organization preferences only by the admin. For now, let's just click Create a Space, which will instantly open a new tab with our new space. Before diving in, let's make sure our browser has permissions to utilize our computer's camera and microphone, imperative for any interactive lesson with others on the space. We can then choose to have our own video and mic on or off. We can test our input and output devices to make sure we are using the correct ones, and we can even apply some blur effects to our camera. Once we are happy, we can join the space. Once in, we can invite others to join. Let's go back and watch a recording of a session. Once we are done in our space, remember to end the session, which requires us to be a leader. After the session has ended, go back to the dashboard, then let's go to Sessions. Click on View Recording for our session that just ended. We will be sent to the space with playback controls that resembles a video. We can also follow other users within the recording. Notice that in this example, we cannot see video streams. This is a setting we can configure in our own organization settings, which is enabled at the discretion of the organization admin.